Now, one of the major changes when that happened as well, normally if you download a data update, you have to download the whole database. It's quite a big download, which would only let you use one edited database at a time. We've actually changed the way that it works, so it does what's known as a diff file. So it takes all the differences from the one database to the other, saves it down to a much smaller file, and you can load as many of these files in as you want to. So we've had people in the studio who've downloaded 20 of these edited databases and had them all running in one game. So hopefully that's something that's going to keep the community very happy this year and very busy as well. Another thing that you'll notice when I'm actually doing the run through is, as part of the bug fixing, we've also optimized the game a lot. The original target for optimization, I set a target of 20 to 25% faster than Football Manager 2009. We did some speed tests the day before we released the demo of the game, and the way that we do speed tests is have one machine that we do them all on. We have a little batch file that you click on that loads in the same amount of players and the same amount of leagues to make sure that they're both identical. And the speed increase was actually 45%. So it's massively faster than Football Manager 2009. So let's start the game. Which team would you like me to manage? Kavala, okay, that's less controversial. Okay, fine. I know that normally if I choose one of Olympiacos or Panathinaikos, half the room leaves. When I choose that, so hopefully it will be okay. Are there any Kavala supporters here? No? Are there any Kavala supporters at all? Okay. So let's start off here with Kavala. So the first thing that you'll notice about the game when it starts is the new user interface. This was not a decision that was taken lightly. We've worked with a usability company called Flow for the last 3 years on trying to make a game that was more accessible for people to be able to play. All of the options are still there for the advanced user, but we had to ensure that new users coming in and playing the game weren't sitting there and thinking, I'm playing a spreadsheet. It's something that, again, gets used quite a lot when it's describing the game, and it's not a spreadsheet, it's a football management game. So you'll notice that the left-hand menu has gone, which I know that at least one person in this room had some problems with. But basically, in the previous versions of the game, we had 3 different control methods for people. You could use the sidebar, you could use the top menu, or you could use the breadcrumbs at the bottom. We've still kept the breadcrumbs, the side menu has gone, but if you really can't handle the new interface, and so far we've had 3 complaints about the interface out of the hundreds of thousands of people who've been playing preview code in the demo. There have been 3 people who've complained. We will be making a skin available for people a couple of weeks after release, which will be released through the Steam platform. So if you install your game through Steam, it works fine with the box copy. Just install the game through Steam, you'll get that skin for free, and that will see the return of the sidebar. But it will also mean that you have less space on the actual screen. You'll also notice that we have more icons, and wow. Was that me echoing there? Or something else? The interface is also configurable. You can add new icons here just by clicking. Now, the reason that we've made it more configurable is because when we started designing the new interface, originally we were going to raise the minimum resolution of the game. But when we got the stats through from last year's game of the computer specs that people were using, we found that 33% of our customers had the minimum spec laptop, the minimum spec screen size. So what we decided to do was have it based on that resolution, but have it so that you could add more if you want to. And you'll also notice something that we kept quiet until very late on. You can also configure the squad screens. So here I'm on slightly higher than the minimum resolution, but there's a lot of white space there. So I can actually insert extra columns. For all kinds of stats. And this is completely configurable so that the person playing the game can have whatever view they want to. They can save the views, they can set up multiple views, or just stick to the default. Another area where the game is configurable, so if I go to team settings, we have what we call a flow inside the game. So there are certain screens that you'll go to at certain times, whether that be the home page or the inbox or the news screen. With Football Manager 2010, you can actually set up your own flow. So you can decide which screens it goes to on which days and on which times. So if I just go to my news items here. So I get a personal message from my chairman.
What's up?
Okay. So fine. So has he been found guilty yet or not? Really? Financial corruption. Excellent. Well, whilst he's still the chairman of the club, he's still going to be in the game. But if he does go to prison and isn't chairman, we'll do a patch just to get rid of him. So, and here's the background of the club. Transfer update. This is something that's new in the game this year. It will tell you players that you currently have on loan, players that are away on loan, and any future transfers that have been arranged away from your club. And then meet your staff. This is another new feature, something I'm particularly proud of. You now have meetings with your staff regularly. And there are different types of meetings that you have. This is a meeting that you have before the season starts, where you get some information about your team. You also have pre-match meetings that talk to you about your tactics and give you tactical advice. And every 2 weeks, you'll have another meeting with your staff. But here, one of my staff is recommending some players by saying that the team is currently short of quality at centre-back, so that's recommending a few players to look at. And with one button click, those players will now be scouted. It's also recommending a left-back, and here a centre-back, although my assistant manager actually disagrees with the advice. Probably because this guy's 37. I'll scout him anyway. It also gives you information about your squad that might help you decide what kind of player you're going to look at. So here we have we have the least aggressive group of players in the league. They have poor concentration, poor determination. What have you got me into? Poor dribbling, poor height, poor passing, poor fitness and poor strength. No good things at all. Okay. So the players on loan must be doing well then. It's telling me that Rincon should be taking penalties. Frederick Mundy should be taking corners. There we go. So it's given me lots of advice. Saying that my best formation is either 4-4-2, 4-2-2 or 4-1-2-1-2, and again I can easily set that just by pressing one button. Let's go back to the new screen. New subscriptions are something else that are new for Football Manager 2010. These came about because, again, when we were doing the usability study and also reading through the forums, one thing that's very clear to us is that you actually can't please all of our customers all of the time, because everyone's different. Everyone plays the game in a